Trev, where do you stand on Pep? The reason I ask, 16 months left on his deal.
Yeah.
Now, I tell you what, let's hear from the man himself, and then we'll get your take on it. Because as far as Pep's concerned, we don't need to talk about this. We're not even thinking about my contract running down.
Many persons I met before convinced me and stay here. And after the fact you are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, or I don't know, it depends on the results. The results were good. We are comfortable, both of us, the club and myself, and that's why we continue. It's no more than that, but still I have 1 year and a half contract. It's a lot of time, considering in world football. Just we see how many managers were sacked this season, not just here in England, in everywhere. So that's why I'm just thinking in the next game, next period, and 1 year and a half is a lot of time in world football.
I mean, you could put the house on him saying that, Trevor. It's a lot of time. I'm not even thinking about it. There's a heck of a lot of football to happen in that year. Nonetheless, it will be spoken about.
Well, it will be spoken about, and I think the foundations that he's going to leave at Manchester City are going to be superb. I think the DNA, the philosophy at the football club is now Manchester City will never change from that. You look at what Johan Cruyff did.
What, after he goes?
After he goes. You look at what Johan Cruyff did when he was at Ajax. You look at what Johan Cruyff and Bobby Robson created at Barcelona. You look at Manchester City now. I think this is what Manchester City's DNA is going to be forever and a day. It's whether they can get a coach in. And we've seen it happen before with Sir Alex Ferguson when they had their replacement. David Moyes couldn't do it, and so many other managers.
Yeah.
Arsene Wenger, they've tried to bring in different managers to reproduce that kind of football. They've not been able to do it. It's a very difficult task to continue it. But I think when you've got a real clear philosophy and a way of playing that goes from the bottom, the kids that are 6, 7 years old, all the way through the academy and to the first team, I think that DNA now, that style of football will remain at Manchester City. Whether they're going to be as successful or not, I don't know. But I think that style will stay.
Well, I mean, what can they do? United have made a hash of it since Sir Alex was there. An absolute pig's ear of it. So what do Man City do in terms of the individual? It's quite simple. Who is it?
Well, it's easier said than done. I think the recruitment is.
I know, but you've told us all about the DNA.
Well,
and all that.
I think Pep will be involved.
Who is it? Who would it be?
I think Pep will be involved. It'll be someone that plays in this style now. Somebody that plays in this style. It might not even be a big manager. It might be a manager that not many people have heard of, but they're going along their business in a fantastic way, sticking to the philosophy, whether it's winning or losing, but sticking to a philosophy and understand how it is that Manchester City are trying to play week in, week out.
But you can't give me a name.
I could give you names, but I might be miles away.
Who plays anyone? I mean, the idea that they've got a DNA, what Man City will just do is go and buy the best in class, whoever that may be, if Guardiola goes. Now, who that looks like and what it looks like may not be the same brand of football. You could talk about the DNA of a football club as if it's defined ultimately by an individual. It's defined by the combination of all its deeds, its history, its where its representation is in football over a period of time. Now, Man City have changed ever since they had this money. They've tried to go for best in class. They've moved through the gears. They've gone into Mancini. They've gone into Pellegrini. They've gone to the guys that they thought were the best managers in domestic football to win the leagues.
Yep.
They've alighted upon Pep Guardiola, who at the time was probably indisputably the best club manager, even though he picked up a Bayern Munich team that he didn't really advance.
No, didn't
right?
The
reputation of Barcelona. I go back
just won the treble.
I go back to the Barcelona DNA.
But he's still a standout.
He's still a standout. You go back to talking about Barcelona's DNA. You could attribute a lot of that to Terry Venables and his time at Barcelona when he started getting Barcelona back into the mix. So I'm not sure Cruyff was the absolute definer of it. But you look at Manchester City and you say, what will they do next? Can anybody replicate the outlook of an individual? Right? Because if they get Nagelsmann in, or if they get someone else in that they think is the best coach, he may not play the same way that
but this
Pep
is where we
Guardiola
disagree.
does.
I feel whoever comes in will have to play this football. Now,
on whose instructions?
Well, no, this is what I feel.
On whose instructions?
What do you mean instructions? This is what I feel.
But on whose instructions? Players come.
There'll be a philosophy in place that a manager who comes in will have to execute that
with an identical style to Pep.
But if you're going to the best, if you're going to the best managers in the world, right, and you should be able to.
But
name
you're
them.
the one who said they're going to go for the best man. I didn't say that.
I don't. Worse, are they?
I don't think they'll go for the best manager. I think they go for the best manager who sticks to this philosophy.
We'll see Paul Cook rocking up there, will he? Of course, we'll get the best managers in the world.
You're just belittling what I'm saying. I don't think it'll be a huge name. It might not be a huge name. It might be a man.
What are you basing that upon, Trev? What are you basing that upon?
Because I just feel like that they've begun something here now, and it's been so successful that they won't want to change this philosophy. It's from all the way down from the under-6s, all the way through the academy. It's about total football. And whoever comes in, it won't be, oh yeah, we're going to adapt it now and we're going to start playing this style of football or that style of football. It will stick to the
nearest thing to the way Pep goes about it would be Arteta. Surely. From the time together.
I think Arteta's trying to emulate what Pep taught him in certain ways. But it's controlling the football match.
But if you're looking at something to replicate what Pep did.
It's controlling the football match by controlling the ball and taking possession of the football. And then being aggressive and on the front foot when you lose ball in transition. So go and win it back in good areas.
There's no parallel universe where Man City are not going to go for the best-in-class manager when Pep Guardiola goes out the door. The reasons why they were able to change the way that they played to such an effective brand of football, and we'll see whether it remains to be part of the entire culture from the academy all the way to the first team, because that is ideal. And that is the absolute utopia. Very rarely works that way, but that's ideal. And then you bring a situation where Man City are going to look around them. They're not going to get some also-ran manager in. They're going to get the leading guy in his class. Now, if they're fortunate, he'll have the same outlook, aspirations and ideals as Pep Guardiola. If they're not, because there's very few people, there's no one like Pep Guardiola. He's the only one doing, to some extent, what he's doing. Klopp's different. Nagelsmann's different. Van Gaal's different.
It boils down to... For God's sake, get Pochettino on before United get him.
Well, is he the same? I mean, the bottom line is that it's winning football. It's winning football.
Yeah.
What everyone is after is winning football. And winning football comes in all different guises. Liverpool's brand of winning football when they won the league and the Champions League was a style of football that people liked. Manchester City's is a different style. There's a generation of football that Man City have been able to get involved with. There's more competition for those footballers now. Newcastle are going to start being in that particular scenario.
Yeah, true.
So I don't think Pep Guardiola leaving is a huge problem for Man City. I'm not entirely sure he will be
because they've got great players. But if you look at the philosophy at Ajax, it doesn't matter what manager goes in there, they play a possession-based football. If you look at Barcelona, it's controlling the ball, controlling the match. Philosophy in football.
Right.
I think the philosophy at Manchester...
But that's everybody's philosophy, Trevor, if they've got the best players.
Well, of course it's not, because some people
City's
play...
If they've got the best players, they want to dominate the ball, don't they?
It's three words that you do not like, Mr. Sinclair. Life after Pep.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Thursday morning, 10 till 1. On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.